Hello.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. So in the last video you saw us talking, one of the last videos you saw us talking about our big move that's coming up. If you haven't watched that, I will link that down below.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. But today we wanted to do a video about
Signs that we've gotten.
Yes.
About moving.
Yeah. So signs that we've gotten about moving, what kind of helped us solidify that what we were doing was right for us and those kinds of things, because we were kind of slapped in the face with a lot of things by the universe and thought it'd be interesting to share.
Yep. So like Jesse said, quickly go back to the other video if you haven't watched it, because we mentioned more of like why we decided to move, whereas this is more kind of the other pushes we've had or the confirmations that we've gotten that what we're doing, like Jesse said, is the right thing for us. So it was funny because the day that we had really decided all of this was a Sunday a couple weeks ago, and we literally spent all day having this conversation. We looked at all the places.
From like 10 a.m. to like 6 p.m. Like literally.
Yeah. It started super exciting. Like we were so just like into it. We were looking at all, like we looked at every single location we had like ever talked about moving.
Yeah. Colorado, Temecula, California, Austin, Colorado, Austin, Texas, and then Raleigh, North Carolina.
So we looked at all these places and we were talking about this all day, just back and forth and having just like this deep, intense conversation about what we were going to do. And there was one point where I was like, you know, the universe, if you could like give me a sign, that would feel really good, and I would like truly appreciate that. Which is funny because this is something that's pretty new for me, is asking for signs and things like that. But I was like, you know what, this is what we're doing right now. We're gonna try to trust. So the first one came in the form of us. So we had like decided to chill out at the end of the day. We were watching Netflix, and we went to go to bed, and I just happened to look at my phone. I like looked at my notification tray, and I had a notification from LinkedIn. A couple months ago, I had basically applied or like asked to be in the young professional groups for like all the cities that we were potentially looking at. So Denver, Raleigh, San Diego. And I had a notification from the Raleigh group, Raleigh Young Professionals, saying that I had been accepted.
Like earlier that day.
The same day. And when I requested to be in this group 4 or 5 months ago. And we got it the same day. So I was like, what the hell? Like I showed Jesse. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, so I should also say on the other end, I very much have always been the type of person that's asked for signs from the universe or confirmation. And I was so exhausted at that point from looking at places and so irritated, honestly, just in general, that when Ben told me about this Raleigh Young Professionals group, I was like, I don't care. That's not a sign. But later that night, we had been, at that point, we had kind of been talking about all these like 4 or 5 different places we could go. We also had just like other things going on in our personal life. And I was having an extreme attachment to staying here in this house. We love this house. We love everything about it. We love our yard. We love our neighbors. We love how close we are to our friends and family. And we were like, okay, maybe we should just stay for another year. And that night, our landlord texted you saying that he wanted to have a conversation about something, and he needed to set up a call. And basically that call kind of, I think you talked to him like the next day or something like that.
Yeah, the next night.
And they decided to put this house up for sale. So this house, as soon as our lease is up in August, they will be selling it. And, for like a hot second, we were like, oh, maybe we should like buy this house, but we're just like not in a place for that. So that was kind of that was a solidifying of like, oh, you're thinking about staying? Let me take your house away. So that definitely was like a big, that one was really hard for me because I'm so attached to this house and I feel very safe and I love it here. So then I kind of was like, shit, we have to move. And I guess maybe I wasn't as ready for it as I thought I was.
Yeah, I want to take a quick second to just mention about like whether or not you're into asking for signs or seeing signs or believing in the universe or God or whatever. Like we have like a very spiritual angle to this video, and you probably have that if you clicked on this and are watching it. But I also think it's important to understand, because both of us have had different experiences of what's happening, kind of like Jesse mentioned with the Raleigh Young Professionals thing, is like,
if you're not,
you're gonna get what is meaningful to you, basically, and so,
and if you're not ready for a sign, you will ignore them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's to me why I like actively asked, because I was like, you know what, I'm open to it. Mm-hmm. Really, it's because it's more about being open to just being pushed in the right direction.
Giving up some of that control. Yeah.
So this whole process has felt very much like that. It's just kind of being open. So when when our landlord said that, like selling the house, it was like Jesse was saying, I was like, oh, okay, I guess that makes that decision easy. Like, we're moving.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to find another place in Chicago and stay here.
Yeah.
Because,
that's not what we want.
Right. So yeah, I just figured that was worth mentioning. Like, just being open to possibilities, and then, like, I think there's a gray area of letting go a little bit, but also not totally, and making like all your decisions based on things that are happening around you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think those were the two big ones. Those are the ones that were really like, okay, this is super interesting. There've been a couple small ones since.
Yeah, we've kind of like, for me being in social media full time, like I took to Instagram, started following a lot of food accounts, food bloggers, perfect people to follow when you're trying to move to a new place, because they'll not only show you good food, but they'll also show you different things happening around the neighborhood.
Yeah, so that's connected. And
so that's always the best place to go, in my opinion. I did that when I moved to Chicago as well. So I started following people like that. We started finding some people that were like super conscious, super health focused, super into the same types of things as we are, which we've actually had a really hard time finding in Chicago, which is surprising, bigger city, but it is a little less wellness focused here as what we were looking for. And we were actually a little worried that Raleigh wouldn't have that, because Austin, Denver, San Diego all definitely have that.
It's like you're probably like the
place.
top 3 in the country or something.
So then we're like, oh, well, what's Raleigh going to have, But they do. They have quite a bit of different things that we're excited to check out when we move there. But yeah, so it was kind of like little things like that would pop up, that we would find someone, and then Benjamin would like connect with them or something. And yeah, so it just ended up being easy. It kept popping up and things kept coming. But I will say, for me, I was having a lot of resistance toward it. And I'm sure that the resistance will keep popping up for me. 1, because I'm fearful of it, and 2, because I've never been there. So until I've gone there, I'm totally a vibes girl. So not being able to feel how I feel when I'm there is really hard for me to decide if that's right for me or not. So, Benjamin was getting all of these signs, and he was, really feeling deeply that this was where he was being pulled toward. And it was actually kind of triggering me, because I was like, this isn't just about you, dude. This is also about me, and I'm not feeling anything. Like, this is great that you're getting signs. I'm not getting signs. In fact, I'm feeling resistance, which to me means maybe it's not the right choice. Yeah. So it's been interesting kind of like working through different things that have popped up because of this. But I actually had like my sign yesterday, right? Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Something like that. I was starting to open up more to it, and like, okay, we'll go there. If we go there and absolutely hate it, we have a month, which is not a lot of time, but it's enough time to figure something out, to move somewhere else or something. And I don't remember, we were talking about Raleigh.
Yeah, because we were in the office, and we were on your computer, and we were looking at some of like the house updates that we got sent from the realtor guy working with.
Yeah. And like I said, I've been more and more open to it. And I don't remember we have tons of birds in our backyard, tons of them. We name them. And we have a very prominent bird who's here very often. It's obvious that he's very prominent because he's a cardinal. He's red. So I had already kind of been being drawn to red that whole day. I had done like a little, now we're getting really woo-woo, but I had done like a little tarot card reading, and I had specifically chosen like a red card and all this stuff. Red's my favorite color. So we're sitting in there, we're talking, and I keep being distracted by the cardinal because he's just like flying past the window.
Wasn't
and
listening to me.
Yeah, he's like, flying on the garage and sitting there, and it felt like he was listening to us, which they can hear us through the window. So I just felt like he kept flying back and forth, back and forth. So distracting to me. And I was like, what is happening? Like, why? And Benjamin's talking about North Carolina, and I'm just like, please stop talking. I can't focus because of this cardinal. And then all of a sudden, I don't even know what happened, but I just was like, 1 second.
She was like,
I literally Ben was talking, and I just my brain clicked, and I was like, 1 second, I need to Google something. So I Googled,
what is the meaning of the cardinal or something? Didn't you start with that?
No, so that's actually good that you said that. So earlier in the day, I had actually watched a video, and a blogger had been talking about seeing a cardinal all the time. And the cardinal tends to mean in a spiritual way, someone in your family is looking over you, things like that.
It's passed away, right?
Yeah, that's passed away, and which doesn't resonate with me, but it was interesting that I had watched that video earlier that day. So I had actually already Googled earlier that day, what is the meaning of a red cardinal? But as we were sitting there, I was like, I just had a second where I was like, wait a minute. So I Googled, but yeah, at first it popped up and it said, what is the state bird, whatever, of a cardinal? And it said Illinois. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Not a sign. And then I researched it.
Yeah, she turned to me, and then she was like, back to the computer.
Yeah, and I just pulled it up, and I said, what is the state bird of North Carolina? And then it popped up, and it was a red cardinal. And it literally was this big picture of a red cardinal that looks identical to Clifford, our red cardinal. And it just said cardinal. And I was like, all right, okay. It had just been so prominent for me. And that was kind of what I needed, was something that was a straight sign for me. And if you're watching this video and you're you two are nutbags, totally get it. A lot of people think that we're crazy, but for us, it was just kind of a way that solidified how we were already feeling, but it kind of to us gave us this confidence that we were on the right track. So for us, it's never I'm not going to do something until I have a sign. It is, this is the decision that I think is correct. I would love to have a sign that shows me that I'm on the right path. So these were our signs that kind of popped up for Raleigh, showing us, in our opinion, that we were on the right track.
I've been telling Jesse, I'm everything is just, I personally am feeling very, very pulled in that direction. It feels very effortless, it's meant to be, we should be doing this. And so for me, it's been a very clear, intuitive choice. Whereas when you have fear in the room with you, it's much harder. So
yeah,
I just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, totally. It's definitely difficult because fear can totally disguise itself as intuition, for sure. But yeah, so that is kind of our little story with the signs that we got that kind of continued to steer us in the way of Raleigh. So if you guys are interested in seeing our move, we will be doing moving vlogs. We will be vlogging once we move there, and
you'll get to see who helps us.
Yeah, you'll get to see. Oh, yeah, they'll probably be like, what are you guys doing?
Crazy millennial.
Yeah, but we will definitely take you along when we visit Raleigh in the end of June, and then we'll also take you along once we move and when we get there. And so stay tuned for that. And if there's anything else that you want to know about our move, if there's anything you want to see, let us know down in the comments, and we will be happy to oblige.
Yeah, I was gonna say also, if you have questions about any of the things we mentioned in terms of like fear, intuition, or even looking for signs or anything like that. If you have questions around that, definitely ask. Both of us would love to help you out with that.
Yeah, for sure. We're super excited, so make sure that you stay tuned and we will keep you guys updated. We'll be pumping out some more vlogs here and more videos, so definitely let us know what you want to see. I don't know what that was.
It was like a 5th version of finger guns.
Okay, we have been filming for a little too long, so we're gonna go, but thanks so much for watching.
Bye,
We'll see you
guys.
later.